Hi, I'm Richard Mobbs, and I've produced a series of math tutorials to support the Open University course TU100. The first tutorial is on rounding numbers and significant figures. All of my resources can be found on the following website. TU100 is a technology course. It's not a mathematics course, but as technologists we have to be comfortable with handling numbers, doing calculations and expressing our answers in a sensible format. Let's have a look at an example. Suppose we measure a child's height and we measure the child at 91.2 centimetres. The point 2 doesn't convey that much meaning when we talk to friends about the height of our child. We would tend to round this number down and just simply say the child was 91 centimetres tall. What we did, we rounded 91.2 centimetres down to 91 centimetres. We've only presented our answers to what we call two significant figures. When we round a number, we use a strategy. We look at the digit immediately after where we want to round, and we round up if the digit is 5 or more, otherwise we round down. So for example, if I measured the height of the child on another occasion and the child was 91.7 centimetres tall, we would look at the digit 7 and decide it's greater than 5 and we would round up. So in this case we would talk about our child being a height of 92 centimetres. Let's look at the anatomy of a number. Here's a number, 735,623. The digit on the left, the 7, is the most significant number. It's conveying the most meaning. It's 700,000. The one on the right is the least significant number. It's carrying the least meaning. In this case, it's only 3. When we look at numbers like 4,508, the first digit, the 4, is what we call the first significant figure. The 5 is the second, the 0 is the third, and the 8 is the fourth. But when we look at decimal places, we have to be very careful. In this particular case, zeros are not significant. So the first significant figure is actually the 2, the second is the 7, the third is the 1, and the fourth is the 5. Sometimes we do have to add what we call a trailing 0 if it is to show significance, and we'll look at an example of this in a moment. Here's some numbers. So what we're going to do is to round the numbers as indicated to 4 significant figures or 1 significant figures or 2 significant figures. Let's look at the first number, 36.9572. We want it to 4 significant figures, so we look at the fourth significant figure, that's the blue one, and then we look at the one after it, that's a 7. We make the decision, is that greater than 5? Yes it is, so we round up. So the 5 becomes a 6, and our answer is presented as 36.96. We also put in brackets 2 4 significant figures because that shows the reader that we have rounded the number up to 4 significant figures. Our next number is a decimal number, and we only want to round this to 1 significant figure. But all those zeros in front, they're not significant. So we pick up the 3 as being the first significant figure. We look at the one after, the red number is a 4. We decide, is it greater than 5? It's not, so we round down. So in this particular case, we get 0.0003, and we put in brackets to 1 significant figure. Our next number is 56.0463, and we want this to 1 significant figure. So we pick up the first significant figure, that's the blue one, and then we look at the one after, that's the 6, the red one, and we decide, is this greater than 5? It is, so we round up. So 56.0463 becomes 60, and we put in brackets to 1 significant figure. Again, the 0 there shows the magnitude. Finally, our last number, we want to 2 significant figures. The 0 is not significant, so the 1 is the first significant figure. The 9 is the second. We highlight the third. We make a decision. Is it greater than 5? Yes, it is, so we'll round up. So the 9 becomes 10, which then pushes the 1 onto a 2, but we want to show our answer to 2 significant figures. In this case, we have to add what we call a trailing 0. This shows us that we've actually got an answer, 0.020, and in brackets to 2 significant figures, but the 0 there shows us that again that is the second significant figure, then there's nothing to present. I hope the tutorial has been useful, and once again just remind you that all of my resources can be found on the above website.